Imagine you're trying to escape a dark forest, but someone handed you the wrong map and you don't even know it. That's exactly how millions of Americans are trying to improve their financial lives today. And the worst part, they're repeating the same invisible mistake that keeps them in the dark, believing they're on the right path. If you feel like you're working harder and ending up with less, this video will open your eyes to the real reason behind your financial stagnation. You try, you work hard, you pay your bills, you save when you can, but at the end of the month, everything seems to vanish. And when you look around, you realize you're not alone. Friends, neighbors, co-workers, all in the same boat. How is it possible that in a country like the United States, with so many opportunities, nearly half the population is on the brink of financial collapse? The answer is as simple as it is terrifying. A basic financial mistake no one ever taught you to avoid. That mistake has a name: focusing on cutting expenses before understanding your cash flow. Sounds technical, but it's what separates those who thrive from those buried in debt. Instead of looking at where their money comes from and where it goes, millions of Americans settle for just spending less without ever building real awareness of their own budget. It's like trying to fill a leaky bucket. You work hard to pour in the water, but it always disappears, Dot. And if you feel bad about this, know that it's not your fault. The American education system doesn't teach basic financial literacy. Schools teach equations, history, science, but never how to handle credit cards, compound interest, or how to build a real monthly budget. Then you enter the job market with one piece of advice: spend less than you earn. Sounds simple, but without context, it's a trap. Dot to give you an idea. According to Bankrate, in 2024, 57% of Americans couldn't cover a $1,000 emergency without going into debt. And that number is even higher among young adults. The Fed reports that over 30% of American families live paycheck to paycheck, with no savings at all. Why? Because even while working and trying to save, they're following a plan built to fail. And this video will show you exactly how to escape that trap. Most people were taught to think about money reactively: earn, spend, suffer. The focus is always on cutting lattes, canceling subscriptions, living with less, but no one talks about the other side of the equation: increasing your income, reorganizing your sources of revenue, investing, generating assets. You need a strategic vision, not just cuts. You're not broke, you're blind. And that's what we're going to fix now. Think about this. Imagine you earn $3,000 a month. You cut all luxuries, stop eating out, cancel Netflix, sell your car. You manage to save $500. Sounds great, right? But if at the same time you're paying 25% annual interest on your credit card, or using that money to cover other debts, you're just rearranging the chaos. You need more than cuts. You need clarity, a plan, and action. This invisible mistake happens every day when you check your bank statement and wonder, what happened to my money? When you try to save and end up feeling even more stuck. When you hear vague advice like make a budget, but no one shows you how, the mistake lies in believing that living on the edge is normal. That debt is just part of life. That credit cards are an extension of your salary. They're not. This is a symptom of financial blindness and it needs to end. In this video, you'll understand why your financial plan never worked and what to do to finally fix it. We'll show you step by step how to regain control, open your eyes, and transform your financial life with simple, realistic, and effective strategies. No magical promises, just the raw truth that no one else had the guts to tell you. So get ready, because in the next section, we'll dig deeper into this mistake and show how it hides in your most innocent habits. You'll realize that with a few small changes, you can step out of the financial darkness and finally see a clear path to stability and freedom. It's not about how much you earn. It's about what you know and what you do with it. Let's get straight to the point. The mistake we mentioned earlier, not understanding your own financial flow, happens because most people confuse control with sacrifice. They believe managing money means living tightly, but it doesn't. Control means awareness, knowing exactly how much comes in, how much goes out, and where every cent is going. Sacrifice, on the other hand, is living in the dark, constantly putting out fires. And this mistake is fueled by the system itself. The media loves to repeat phrases like you need to cut expenses, cancel anything non-essential, live below your means. But what almost no one says is, cutting expenses is pointless if you don't even know what you're spending on. Sounds obvious, but how many people actually go line by line through their bank statement? How many know their exact credit card balance or how much they spend per month on transport, food, or interest? The American system pushes people into consumption from a young age. At 18, you can get a credit card, take out student loans, and open a bank account, but no one teaches you how to manage these tools. The result, a population with access to credit, but no guidance. The average American carries $6.00 in credit card debt, according to 2025 data. And many don't even know how that debt got so high. Think about John, 34, from Texas. He makes around $1,000 to $100 a month. He lives a simple life, nothing extravagant. And yet, every month he ends up in the red. Why? Because he doesn't realize that his small habits, ordering delivery 3 times a week, paying only the minimum on his credit card, letting auto-renewing apps keep charging him, add up to nearly $900 a month without realizing it. John is spending what he can't see. And here's the danger. When you lack clarity, your mistakes seem small. You think, oh, it was just $12 on coffee, or it's just $120 Uber, or the card will cover this month. But all of that adds up into a silent hole that drains your money. And the saddest part is, you blame yourself, thinking you're failing as a person when in reality, you're just following a system designed to confuse you. Now tell me, have you been through this? Have you ever felt like you're always playing catch up, even when you're doing everything right? Have you felt ashamed of not knowing exactly where your money goes? If so, you're not alone. Drop a comment below and share what gets in your way when it comes to financial control. Because your story is going to resonate with a lot of people, and this channel is a space where we can have real conversations about it. Also, if anyone ever told you, just stop wasting money, smile and nod. Because anyone living the reality knows it's not that simple. If it were, everyone would be rich just by canceling takeout or Disney Plus. The problem runs deeper. It's about understanding how you think about money. Because in the end, your bank balance is just a reflection of what you believe and repeat every day. Have you noticed how guilt makes you spend more? You feel bad, buy something to feel better, then feel guilty again, try to save, get frustrated, and spend again. It's a vicious cycle fueled by a lack of emotional and financial clarity. No one ever taught you to stop, breathe, look at your statement with neutrality, and say, okay, what can I change today? But that's exactly what we're going to teach you here step by step. Let's talk about the biggest silent villain, the minimum credit card payment. This convenience is what keeps most Americans in debt for life. If your balance is $2,000 and you only pay $60 per month, you could take up to 17 years to pay it off and spend over $6,000 just in interest. Yes, you read that right. And that's not even including extra fees, late penalties, or revolving interest. That's not convenience. That's a disguised prison. So write this down. Money is behavior. It's not just about earning more or cutting back. It's about learning to look at your life as a system. Everything is connected. Your habits, your routine, your emotions, your goals. If you want to escape financial darkness, you need to turn on the light. And that starts with 3 words: analysis, clarity, and decision. In the next section, we'll show you practical tools and strategies to start right now. We'll introduce free apps, simple spreadsheet models, a 3-step action plan, places to invest with little money, and most importantly, how to change your relationship with money forever. If you've related to what we've said so far, the next section will be transformative. It's time to take back control. And that starts with a simple yet powerful task: mapping your money. Before thinking about saving or investing, you need to know where every cent is going. Grab a piece of paper, an app, or a spreadsheet and list all your income and expenses from the last 30 days. No filters, no shame. This isn't about judgment, it's about real awareness. If you can't face the numbers, nothing will change. Today, you have access to free apps like Mint, Every Dollar, Rocket Money, formerly Truebill, among others. They connect directly to your bank account and automatically categorize your spending. In less than 15 minutes, you can see where the leaks are. Spoiler, they're almost always in invisible spending. Bank fees, credit card interest, impulse buys. Using technology in your favor is the first step out of the dark. Let's take Honor, 29, from California. She earns $3,500 a month and constantly says, "My paycheck isn't enough." But after doing a detailed analysis, she discovered she was spending around $800 on delivery and rideshare apps. $150 on subscriptions she'd forgotten about. and over $300 by only making minimum payments on her credit cards. After restructuring her routine, using public transport, and canceling useless services, she freed up more than $1,100 a month without earning more just by gaining clarity. You know that feeling of "I'll pay later, I'll figure it out"? That's the most destructive invisible mistake out there. It disguises itself as relief, but it's really just a debt with interest when you roll over a balance or leave a bill unpaid. You're not solving anything, you're feeding a silent monster. That monster is called the cost of financial procrastination. Every week you delay has a price. Every unpaid minimum turns into a snowball. And the system loves when you ignore that. Common mistakes you need to stop making right now. Paying the minimum on your credit card. Never. It traps you for years. Useless automatic subscriptions. Do a clean sweep, ignoring small debts. They grow big with interest. Spending before paying yourself. You come first, then the rest. No emergency fund. One surprise can knock you down. Avoiding just these 5 things already puts you ahead of 80% of the population, because most people live in reaction mode. But from now on, you're going to live in decision mode. So write this down in your phone, planner, or even on your wall. Step 1. Complete financial diagnosis. Use an app or paper. List everything. Find the waste. Step 2. Conscious cutting and redistribution. Cut what doesn't add value. Use the difference to pay debts and build a safety net. Step 3. Create mini extra income. Sell unused stuff. Offer a quick service: Uber, DoorDash, Etsy. Small inflows change everything. These steps might sound simple, but they're the foundation of every financial breakthrough. And they work because they respect your starting point. Some smart tactics to consider: the 50/30 20 rule. 50% needs, 30% wants, 20% savings. Debt, separate spending account. Create one just for fun and extras. When it's empty, it's done. Digital envelope method. Break expenses into categories with weekly limits. Invest $5 week. Apps like Acorns or Stash let you start small. The $1 day challenge. Save $1 a day. At year's end, $365 emergency fund. Meet Michael, 41, from Ohio. He worked retail, earned $2,800 a month, and was drowning in over $12,000 in debt. After using the 3-step plan, organizing his money with a basic app, and making weekend deliveries, he paid off his debt in 15 months, built an emergency fund, and started investing $100 a month. Today, he has peace not because he got rich, but because he got conscious. You don't need to earn more to escape the hole. You need to change how you handle what you already have. And that begins with tiny daily actions. Checking your bank statement without fear. Saying no to auto renewals. Saving before spending. Celebrating every small win. Money isn't the enemy. The enemy is the ignorance forced on you by a system that profits from your confusion. But now you know. And those who know start to win. In the next and final section, we're going to show you the ultimate turning point. A path that may seem like a secret, but it's been right in front of you all along, just waiting for your decision. We'll talk about discipline, future vision, and how you can change your financial destiny with consistency. And, of course, we'll invite you to walk this journey with us, because here, no one gets left behind. Now that you understand the invisible mistake that kept you financially blind, it's time to look at the other side of the coin, the secret path that wealthy people follow, but one that's available to anyone willing to wake up. This path doesn't start with money. It starts with mindset, awareness, and action. The real secret was never cutting out lattes. It was changing how you show up in your financial life. The transformation is in you, not in the bank. Here's the truth. You're not alone. Millions of people are stuck in the same cycle: work, pay, survive. But that's not living. And the fact that you've made it this far proves something. Inside you want more. You want clarity. You want freedom. You want to sleep peacefully knowing you're in control of your story. And that desire is your starting point. Because those who want to change are already on the path to change. Now imagine your life 6 months from now if you apply what you've learned. You know exactly how much you earn and spend. You've built an emergency fund even if it's small. You're no longer living on the edge. And maybe most important, you're no longer afraid of money. That's real freedom. It's not about flashy wealth. It's about autonomy, security, and peace. And it's just one plan away. What changes your future isn't today's surge of motivation. It's the quiet decision to keep going tomorrow, to keep your spreadsheet updated, to resist that impulsive purchase, to say no now so you can say yes later. And no one can do that for you. But here's the good news. You don't have to do it alone. Starting now, you have an entire channel dedicated to walking this road with you. So if this video opened your eyes even just a little, I invite you to take the next step. Subscribe to this channel right now. Leave a comment below. What was your biggest insight today? Share this video with someone you love who needs to break free from financial darkness. Turn on the notification bell, because in the next videos, we're diving even deeper from how to build your emergency fund to how to start investing with little. You weren't born to live in scarcity. You weren't made to repeat mistakes that aren't even yours. You have power. You have intelligence, and now you have information. That makes you dangerous to a system that thrives on your ignorance. So be different. Start small. But start today. You opened your eyes. Tomorrow, you take the first step. And one day, without even realizing it, you'll look back and say, wow, I made it. Here on this channel, we speak to people who were born broke but refused to die that way. So if you're one of us, drop a I'm in the comments. Because you don't need luck. You need strategy. And now you've got it.